Let's bring in Missouri Congressman Jason Smith, who was chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee and a key player in this whole discussion. Mr. Chairman, thank you for coming on. I'll just open with this. Somebody's lying. Who do you think is lying? Someone is lying. I mean, this is crazy stuff. What's your hunch, Mr. Chairman?
You're exactly right, Larry. Someone is lying because the allegations from the two different whistleblowers that came before the House Ways and Means Committee are opposite of what the prosecutor there in Delaware has been stating. That is exactly why myself, Jim Jordan, Jamie Comer sent a letter to over a dozen individuals that were supposed to be present or they knew about this October 7th, 2022 meeting where Mr. Weiss, according to the IRS whistleblowers, said that he was denied the opportunity to bring charges in the District of Columbia against Hunter Biden. And so that's what we're trying to get answers to. They have until Thursday at 5 o'clock to help voluntarily schedule a meeting. So I hope Mr. Weiss will come before Congress and answer these questions instead of just stop sending letters.
Jason, this idea, this other letter he's talking about where Weiss can't discuss some of these charges. We had, Senator Chuck Grassley on last night who saw an unredacted version. I might add unredacted and unclassified version that strongly suggests that there was bribery with respect to Burisma and former Vice President Biden. But Weiss is saying, I can't talk about this because it's still a subject of investigation. I don't know that it's an open investigation. Maybe you do. But there is no exemption. There's no reason. There's no law that says you can't talk about this stuff, particularly if, powerful committee chairs like yourself are either threatening them with subpoenas or contempt. There's no law that says you're exempt from discussion here. This is a phony non-denial denial.
It's a way that you see a lot of folks within government, a lot of bureaucrats, to try to evade congressional oversight. But guess what? We're not going to stop. We're going to follow the facts and aggressively get the information. The whistleblowers' allegations are extremely alarming about the tactics of the DOJ in delaying, divulging, and denying opportunities within the Hunter Biden prosecution. Think about this. Any of your listeners or any of your viewers, Larry, that if they had committed what was alleged in these items, they would be put into jail and the key would be thrown away. Just in the year of tax year 2014, the whistleblowers alleged that Hunter Biden didn't document over $400,000 of money to Burisma. But guess what? Because of the Justice Department delayed, it allowed the statute of limitations to run for the tax years of 2014 and 15, which happened to be the same time Hunter Biden's father was vice president of the United States.
Right. Think of that. I never understood. I got a couple more for you, and then maybe we'll talk taxes in a minute. But look at exactly. We know from these various bank accounts reported by the Treasury and also private banks. Jamie Comer is going to be getting some stuff from directly from the bank. But we know that a lot of money was put into these little LLCs by all the Biden family members, okay? Not the Ozarks granddaughter. She was about the only one that didn't have an LLC, although who knows how that's going to turn out. That was a joke. I'm just being a wise ass. But the fact is, up to $40 million changed hands, okay? My question is, Mr. Chairman, what did they get in return for that $40 million? In other words, is it usually in business, as you know, if I give you money, you give me a product. I get something or I get a service. What exactly did the Bidens give them in return for $40 million?
Larry, that's exactly what we have to find out. But what the whistleblowers highlighted in their over 14 hours of testimony was, in fact, we asked them about 20 of those different LLCs that Jamie Comer had unsurfaced through bank accounts. They verified 19 of the 20, and they could have been the 20th, but they knew 19 of the 20. Over $8.3 million is what Hunter Biden received from 2014 to 2019. He had gifts like a Porsche over $140,000, a diamond ring valued over $80,000, and it was money coming from China entities, Ukraine entities, and Romania entities. It's absolutely absurd. You can smell corruption all over this, and it's all tied to all the Bidens.
Influence peddling. I mean, one has to conclude influence peddling, and I know it's an allegation, but a strong probability and a growing probability based on the evidence of bribery. Policy changes from a foreign national. Jason Smith, one other thing on this. The WhatsApp communication that surfaced in your committee that made so much news before the July 4th break, where Hunter Biden is yelling at this Chinese guy, whatever he was, investment guy tied to Chinese communist intelligence. My father is sitting right here, and you better pony up. And then a couple days later, $5 million changed hands. What's happening with that WhatsApp communication?
That was a big part of what the whistleblowers highlighted to us throughout the process. The information that was in there absolutely contradicts what President Biden has said from day one. Mm-hmm. He has said for years that he knew nothing of any of his son's business dealings. But guess what? After that WhatsApp message came out, the White House started to sing a different tune, and they said that he wasn't involved in his son's business dealings. So they're gradually moving the goalpost. There's a lot to continue to unravel. That's why we need these folks to come before us and answer to the members of Congress.
Thank you for that. Next steps in your committee will be what?
We're waiting until those over a dozen individuals that we've requested to come before Congress, they have until 5 o'clock on Thursday to respond. Okay. So we can get down to the details.
Right, I got it. Okay, you said that before. My bad. Jason, let me just have one. I know you put together a tax package. It's not going to be the final word on your tax reform, but I just want to show you. I know I sent you this. My buddy Art Laffer, your friend Art Laffer, was not happy with the tax package. Please take a listen.
Here they have an opportunity to fly to the moon, to get to the sky, to outline what our policy should be. And they get all this drivel and this horrible stuff in there, increasing deductions, hate the rich, go through all this stuff, little ditty, this, that's, and the other, and then they tout the 2017 tax cut under Trump as being wonderful. It led to higher growth. Well, where are all the tax cuts that were in that Trump? Why not just make the Trump tax cut permanent? Cut tax rates.
All right. So the great Art Laffer, I will simply echo his question to you, Mr. Chairman. Why not just make the Trump tax cuts permanent? Why not lower the rates, broaden the base?
Larry, as someone who helped sponsor the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act, my name is on the bill.
Yes.
I would love to make it permanent. In fact, our House version made everything permanent. The Senate kind of changed some stuff. But I would have to disagree very strongly with Art Laffer. If you look at the piece of legislation that we have, we are adding to the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. More than 80% of the scored costs by joint tax are additions to the current 2007 Tax and Jobs Act. There's provisions that have expired, such as research and development, interest deductibility, bonus depreciation is phasing out. We're making sure that it goes with the whole cliff in 2025. This is a step to move forward. Whenever you look at the 100% expensing, Larry, under the Trump tax cuts, we increased it from $500,000 to $1 million. My bill will increase it from $1 million to $2.5 million of 100% expensing for small businesses. That showed exponential growth for small businesses. And if we really want to deliver for small businesses, working class families, and farmers, this is a good step. Do we want to go farther? Absolutely. But give me the United States Senate and the White House to help work with, and we can get the job done.
All right. I just want to give you a chance to respond. I know you. I know you're a growth guy. I know you're on the supply side. We're working on the Senate and the White House. Chairman Jason Smith, thank you for your service on this whole bribery scandal and economic growth, sir. Appreciate you coming on the show.